My name was Albert Kropp. I was a soldier in the 2nd Company during World War I. I was shot in the leg and I got infected after it was amputated. I later caught a fever and died. My friends thought I was healing. I did not get to say goodbye.
People call me Molo. I was a soldier in the 2nd Company. I was shot in the stomach in battle. I died slowly and terribly, but I had enough mind to say goodbye to my best friend.
My name was Katsinski, but people tended to call me Kat. I was a soldier in the 2nd Company. I was being carried to safety in the arms of my best friend when I died. I loved him. I thought of him as my brother. His name? Paul Balmer.
I was young. I was 20 years old, yet I knew nothing of life but despair, death, fear, and factious superficiality, cast over an abyss of sorrow. I saw how people were set against one another, and in silence, unknowingly, foolishly, obediently, innocently, slay one another. I saw that the keenest brains of the world invent weapons and words to make it yet more refined and enduring. And all men of my age, over here and over there, throughout the whole world, saw these things. All my generation was experiencing these things with me.
We are the Iron Youth. I don't want to do anything. You'll be dead one day, so why does it matter? I don't think we'll ever go back. We are no longer untroubled. We are indifferent. We may exist, but do we live?
Even if the scenes of our youth were given back to us, we would hardly know what to do. We might remember them and love them and be stirred by the sight of them, but it would be like gazing at the photograph of a dead comrade.
When I hear the word peacetime, it goes to my head, and if it really came, I think I would do some unimaginable thing. Something, that it's worth having lain here in the muck for. But I can't even imagine anything.
And give 'em all the grub and the same pay, and the war would be over and done in a day.
Now I remember again that we are lying in the graveyard. Death himself lies here. We stand together.
It has awakened a sense of comradeship, so that we escape the abyss of solitude. It has lent in us the indifference of wild creatures, so that in spite of all, we perceive the positive in every moment, and store it up as a reserve against the onslaught of nothingness.
We are not youth any longer. We don't want to take the world by storm.
We are fleeing. We fly from ourselves, from our lives.
We were 18 and had begun to love the world, and we had to shoot it to pieces. The first bomb, the first explosion, burst in our hearts.
We are cut off from activity, from striving, from progress. We believe in such things no longer. We believe in the war. Little Albert Kropp, the clearest thinker among us. Moeller, the dreamer who still carried his textbooks. We couldn't have done it without Kat. He was a cobbler who understood all trades. All quiet on the Western Front.
And we are back to Good Morning Germany. Here we have war hero Paul...
Please, ma'am, don't call me that.
I'm sorry, we have war veteran Paul Balmer. Now, Paul, your story was very interesting. It was very touching. What do you feel the people who hear about the story should take from it?
Well, ma'am, I think all of Germany, really, all the world, they need to realize that what happens out there on that battlefield isn't everyday life. It isn't normal. It isn't easy for anyone. And everyone needs to realize it's hard for everyone involved, the families, but especially the soldiers. To be frank, we're killing people. And I know no one wants to hear that, and that's why we don't call it killing people. We don't call it murder, we call it war. Casualties. Some of those casualties were my friends. They were all my brothers. And when you're out there having to kill people, other people's friends, you can't feel. You have to turn it all off. We become indifferent.
And would you say feeling indifferent is a good emotion to feel out there?
Man, indifference is never good. Ever. But out there, if we weren't, we wouldn't be able to do our jobs. And our jobs are more important than our feelings.
Now, Paul, would you say indifference is the only lesson we should take from this?
No.
Why is your story so important, Paul? Why do people need to know about this?
Miss Baber, there are a lot of reasons. I could never name them all. But I'll try a few. Something that everyone needs to realize is how important your friendship is. Having people around you who care about you and are trying to get you through, that's important. But at the same time, you've got to learn to take care of yourself. There were many times out there, people died trying to take care of everyone but themselves. And at the same time, when you were trying to take care of other people, it ended up being what killed you. Or what killed the person you're trying to take care of. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Paul.
My friend, Kat, he died while I was trying to carry him to get help. The bullet, the splinter that was meant for me, killed him. And that hurt. Because, man, the only emotion we let ourselves feel is love for one another. But that's not all. There's so much history here, so much that everyone needs to learn. This never needs to happen to anyone else. These wars. While we may have believed in the war, and it might have been all we knew and all we believed, it's not okay. It's not okay to only believe in war. It's not. And I don't want anyone to ever go through that again. Ever.
Let's just hope there's not a second world war, huh?
Please don't even joke about it, man. Can't even imagine it. I lost all 3 of my best friends and every single one of my classmates.
I am so sorry for you, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, tune back in tonight. Good morning, Germany.